Young Justice is, I think, one of the most underrated TV shows maybe ever. Um, this is my favorite TV show of all time, genuinely. That's what got me into a lot of the nerdier things out there, especially the DC Universe, obviously. My favorite fictional character ever. That decision of who that is was made from watching this show. Um, so it means a lot to me. Young Justice Invasion, Outsiders, Phantoms. I actually enjoyed all the seasons. I think for me it probably goes season 1 is the best, and then season 2, and then I'd probably say I think I like season 4 more than season 3, but that's what I'm landing on. So here we have a bunch of different characters from the show, and I am going to rank them. Now the problem is, so I've seen season 1 multiple times, season 2 less, but multiple times. Season 3, I think I saw once, maybe twice, depending on if I might have rewatched it in time for season 4, and then season 4 only once. So some of these characters, I'm looking at them and I'm like, who are you? And it especially sucks because there's definitely going to be like one or two prominent characters who I'm like, what the fuck was their name? Where's the prince? Does this one not have the prince of Markovia? Or was it Markovia, wherever Tara's from? Where's her brother? Yeah, I don't see him. Oh, here he is. I forgot. This is who I'm talking. This is who I was thinking of. I can't remember his name. I just can't. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna rank. Whoever made this tier list does not like Dr. Fate. I don't. I guess I'll talk about him. I don't know why that one's there. But let's just get into it. Starting off with Green Beetle. Now he was like a double agent for the Reach, pretending to have cured himself from his Beetle's control. Then he wasn't, but he actually wasn't. But then it was. But then I think he died. I'll just put him let's put him D. He's not as memorable. He's just more plot progress. He's a plot progressor more than anything. I'm gonna put him D. Zatanna. I think this was my first. This is my first introduction. I think pretty much all these characters, besides maybe I had known Robin. That might be where it ends. Honestly. But yeah, this is my first introduction for pretty much all these characters. But Zatanna, Robin knew what he was doing. Dick Grayson knew what he was doing. I'm gonna put her A. Is it just because I find her pretty? Maybe. But no, she's cool. Queen Bee or whatever. I mean, she's had a pretty solid effect on the show. I mean, she kills Beast Boy's mother. The attack there even leads to his transfusion that makes those are separate things, separate attacks, I guess, but it leads to him becoming Beast Boy because of her actions. She has a cool gimmick of how she controls guys, but I'm still gonna put her D. She's cool, but she's just not she's not as memorable. She doesn't have as much character. It's more of what she caused that I'm even finding interesting. The Black Beetle. I'm going to put him C. The reason he's above these other ones is because this dude was terrifying. When he came on screen, he was throwing hands and he was winning. I'm going to put him C. One of the better side villains that we see. But main villain, I will put Vandal Savage in A. Really good overarching villain. We start to see some of his backstory, but in terms of him actually being on screen, I just feel like there's a presence there, but it's not. He's a really good villain, but he's just, I don't know, maybe a lack of personality. Not that he needs to be outgoing. I literally just mean whatever it is, his personality. I just don't think is shown as much. Maybe, and I feel like there's not as many moments between him and the main team that would have helped getting him into S. So I'm gonna put him in A. Cyborg. Cyborg is cool, very angry though, and I get why he's very angry, but that's all we really see of him. That's all I really remember from him. I'm gonna put him B though. Victor Stone's always cool to see. His powers are great. Like I said, I get why he's angry, so I'm not gonna hold it too much against him. But in just terms of depth, there's not much there, so I'm gonna put him in B. Static. I mean, I feel like I kind of have to put him C because they just haven't used him that much. Like we see him a little bit. We see him like be with the Runaways, decide to join the team. Is gonna get Black Lightning as a mentor, or already has. I'm trying to remember. If it was either the end of season 3 or the end of season 4. Must have been the end of season 3. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be your mentor, but it's just he's not been featured much, so he's held back. Got to put him C. Calder, Aqualad to now Aquaman, a 1-point double agent for the team, the calm, steady leader that early team needed. I'm gonna put him A, and maybe I'll shift some things down because maybe he deserves to be. Well, he's the series villain. I'm thirsty, so that I don't think it's any disrespect to put him in A. But he's great, but there's just a couple characters that I just connect with more that I'm gonna leave for S. Who are you? You're not really shown much. I think you take up the mantle of Artemis, because I think she's supposed to be like more comic book Artemis than our Artemis. But I don't remember seeing her. F feels like should be bad. Right? F feels like it should be bad. So let's. I haven't seen you. I guess I'll just have to put you F. Arsenal. The original Roy Harper who got his arm taken off. Less time with him comparison to the cloned Roy Harper who was Red Arrow. I'm gonna put him C. I liked seeing him when he was there, to see just that anger and like how he switches from everything that the traumatic experience he's gone through. Gonna put him C. This Runway, I don't think she talked much. I don't remember her that well. I'm gonna have to put her F. Her name's escaping me, but Aqualad's the one who broke Aqualad's heart and then died, which they then used as a reasoning for him to switch sides. I'll put her D. She made more of an impact than these two, so I'll put her above them. But I'm gonna leave her in D. Beast Boy. A more interesting arc in the show with like his like depression arc. Leader of like the young team. Eventually, I'm gonna put him B. Black Lightning. Slow burn. I think we've seen him in the background the first 2 seasons, but that 3rd season he takes a very starring role and was just great. I mean, just seeing this more disgruntled veteran superhero dealing with everything that's been going on was a great perspective to see. I'm going to put him A. Black Manta, I think, has to go D. Like, we see him, kind of see Calder playing on his relationship with his father. I'm going to put Black Manta in D. Blue Beetle is going to go in B. Great suit. Was very important in Season 2 with his relationship with his beetle, his scarab. Great. I'm saying it again, but I think it is one of the best suits like in DC. The Blue Beetle suit, it's awesome. Pretty funny, but just not what these other ones are. Like in terms of either carrying the story, being interesting, being something you can connect with more. It's gonna hold it back to B. S is lonely up there, and it's not growing. I know they've had a couple run-ins with this guy, but like I couldn't really tell you much about. Was it Brick? Is this dude's name? And then Bumblebee B. I'm gonna put her D as well with the other B themed character. I think just because, like, no, I'll put her C. I think this fits better. But she's cool. She's this working woman, this scientist as well. Her relationship with her boyfriend plays some parts in some episodes. I think they're having a kid. I'll put her C. Okay, Cheshire. I'll put her B. One of the great early antagonists. relationship with her sister, then the cloned Roy Harper having a kid with him, um, grounding him, even essentially like not putting him in his room, but when he's on this massive hunt to find the original Roy, helping ground him back to reality, letting him know, like, hey, you're a person too. We have a kid together. I need you. Plays a big role, but I'm going to put him B. Vertigo. Okay, I'm putting Vertigo C just because he plays a big part in my favorite episode of the show. The name I'm forgetting, Cold Hearted, I think, or something like that, when all the ice villains are all attacking at the same time, and we focus on a different character and his mission. That's really it. That's my favorite episode. He's like the main guy behind that one, so I'm gonna put him C. Terra's gonna go in C as well. It's like maybe, I mean, we'll have to see what comes of her. I just feel like the Judas Contract storyline, they didn't. It's maybe the most watered down version of that storyline we've ever seen, which is fine. So much is going on in the show. I don't think it hurts the show, but it hurts her character in comparison to the other characters. But a little temper, a little anger to her, which is cool. I'm gonna put her C. Slade. I'm gonna have to put him C as well. Does some cool stuff. I mean, it's still cool to see some of the Jews contract stuff with him. But for the mercenaries that we see villains use, he's not the main one that we see, and I think that's maybe a missed opportunity. I mean, we don't get him and like Dick Grayson's rivalry enemy, like top enemies, like with each other. So I'm gonna put him C. All right. This guy hates Dr. Fate. I don't hate Dr. Fate. I actually like Dr. Fate. I think Dr. Fate is cool, plays some key part in a couple episodes. I'm viewing Fate as the helmet, and then the relationship they have with each wearer, which is going to help it as well. So I'm going to put Dr. Fate B. Prince. I'll put him B. He's very emotional, but that's on purpose, and it plays into like his switch, his betrayal, kind of being like a bait and swap of like who the problem child is I think they're Markovian. That's definitely a country that's been thrown around in Young Justice world. I want to say that's where they're from, but I'm gonna put him B. Is that supposed to be Wonder Woman? Because we don't see other Leaguers, so I don't think that's who that's supposed to be. So I couldn't actually tell you who this is. Him. One of the Runaways, I think his dad was running like the that place for the metahuman kids. I'm gonna put him D. Like, I couldn't tell you his name. Just gonna put him D. Superboy, the character with the most development in this show. I feel like I have to put him S. Them going after Superboy starts this show to begin with, starts the team, starts Young Justice. Immense growth from being just so rash, so angry, to being level-headed and very intelligent with his emotions. Like, he becomes a man and has this interesting relationship with Superman, where it's like he needed a father. Superman couldn't be that for him. They became almost, brothers instead. When Superboy died, and Superman was talking to John about it, and Lois was like, "He'll be fine." And it cut, and then Superman like pans up at the camera crying, and he's like, "I'm not." I mean, that's about a different character, but it's because of his death. Anyway, I'll put Superboy S. I just wanted to mention that scene because there's nowhere else I would be able to. Okay, their uncle, I don't give a fuck about him. This is why we need another season. He's only been teased. Tease alone, I'll put him D just because he got teased. But I would do anything for season 5 of Young Justice. Anything. Anyways, Bug. Bug is cool. I'm going to put Bug in B. Serves his role really well. A little comedic character. Some heart to him. He's fine. The other Aqualad. Tempest, I think is what he goes by. Let's just. I'll put him in the same as his lady friend. We'll put him D. I forgot because the Roy Harper clones adopt different names. They keep the last name. I forgot what this one went by. Who's Will? Who's Will? Who goes by Will? Is it you or like Red Arrow? Roy Harper. But either way, I'll put him D just for having that family connection. I love the security team scene or episode. I'll put him D. Halo. Halo is probably gonna go. I'm gonna put her B. She's actually she's on the higher end of B. Very interesting concept of this mother box just like possessing a dead body and trying to learn to become human and control their powers. The anti-life equation and what that ties with her, or they. I think they is what you're supposed to say, but which is confusing because the mother box implies a gender already. But I don't know. But whatever they want. So, but their relationship with the prince as well. I think this is what I want to say. This is original character. I'm guessing this is original character for the show, and if that's the case, this is a great original character. I think this is really good. Them being added into like regular DC continuity could be cool. I think you could do a lot of things with this character. But put him B. Like he was an original character for this show, I think, that then later got pretty quickly later on, I think, but got adapted into the regular continuity. What is it? Icicle Jr., Ice Jr., whatever his name is. He has some pretty good fun moments. So I'll put him C with like Count Vertigo. Of just like this occasional like lower end villain that we see kind of uses a pawn usually with these other villains. I'm gonna put him C, but he's pretty fun when he's there. I couldn't tell you which Martian this is, which one this is supposed to be. Gonna put him F. Bart Allen. I'll put him A, man. I really liked when he came on. His joking nature, but had a very serious mission when he first came here to try and save the future. Takes up the mantle of Kid Flash when Wally goes, just rightfully so. Just a good addition. Love to see a speedster. Really love to see a speedster. When I said my favorite fictional character came about from this show, it is Wally West. Wally West, ever since this show, has been my favorite fictional character ever. He's obviously my favorite superhero. I would love to see him in James Gunn's universe. The beacon of hope in the DC universe, the one who brought Rebirth, when they did that reboot. I love Wally so much. Like, his growth from being this wannabe player, didn't get play. So fucking real for that. But this wannabe player, then having the best relationship of anyone on the show with him and Artemis, enemies to lovers, or I guess like frenemies, like to lovers. They weren't really enemies, but I feel like enemies to lovers, like that's the real trope. In my opinion, it's not like actual like they're genuinely a villain. I mean, sometimes that's the case, but I feel like most of the time, enemies to lovers is like frenemies to lovers, which I prefer. But yeah, I'm like supposed to come to terms with the fact that he's gone, right? That he is dead. But the way he died is suspicious. Like there's no body left over. It's a kid show; they wouldn't show it. But like he phased out. Like I'm gonna have an eyebrow raised, especially being a fucking speedster. Okay, and then there's the episode where Artemis asks Zatanna to help her speak to Wally. She gets closure and is able to move on. And I was like, damn, he really might be dead. And they're just having this episode's for us as fans, closure. But then they fucking make sure it's crystal clear to you that Zatanna's like, oh, I can't actually do that. We use my magic and McGann's mind powers to show her that for her to move on. You made it explicitly clear, like, oh, she didn't talk to a ghost. He might not be dead. Like, that's what you want us to think when we see that. So don't tease me like that just for him to actually be dead. Like, no, if you're doing that, he has to be alive. He's somewhere. He either went to the future and is going to tie in with when they do, like, the Legion of Heroes, or what I hope, what I pray is that he's in the Speed Force, getting faster, dude. And what I want more than anything is, like, maybe next season, first couple episodes, we see flickers of like, him trying to get out, and it's like, man, what's that? What's going on? And what does it is, like, Artemis is in danger. And he comes bursting the fuck out of the Speed Force. And is so powerful. And maybe he burst out with a new suit. Like, he burst out with a Flash suit. He got his nose covered. And just goes fucking buck wild and saves Artemis. And then we get a little bit of drama because she moved on. She's got a new boyfriend. That's... I need that. Now. Greg Wiseman, if you guys ever get a season 5, please bring Wally back. I mean, please. Please. But yeah, like I said, this character alone is the reason this is my favorite TV show of all time. Clarion. Honestly, I'm actually going to put him B. I think for some of the reoccurring villains that you see, he's one of the better ones. You see, at least in terms of frequent run-ins, the stakes within the run-ins because of how powerful he is, having a quirk to him of just being this weird, like, imp. I'm going to put him B. Who is this? This isn't Talia, I don't think. This is... Who's the other, like, she's like a top 5 fighter in the DC universe in terms of martial, like, hand-to-hand combat skills. Lady something, like Lady Deathstrike, or no, that's... Pretty sure that's the Marvel character. Lady Shiva? Is that it? Hold on. Lady Shiva. Yes. Yes. This is Lady Shiva. I don't remember. I barely remember her seeing her in this. I'm going to put her there. Lex Luthor. Honestly, from what we see, like, he's part of the light. We kind of see him, but in terms of actually interacting, I feel like we see him less. Like, there's the reveal, and he gives, like, the patches to Superboy to have his full Kryptonian powers, and the reveal is that half the DNA is Superman, the other half is Lex's, which is cool. And he pulls some strings. He's part of the light. A lot of the political stuff he starts to take place in. He becomes, like, head of the UN, or whatever the fuck the position's called. I'll put him B. Ice Lady. I don't remember her. All I remember genuinely from her is... Oh, wait. No, she has electric powers. For some reason, I thought she had ice powers. That means she's... I think she's the Superman villain, then. Oh, but what is it? Because all I remember is when she was like, I've had lightning before. And he's like, you haven't had black lightning. And shocks the fuck out of her. Just for that scene alone, it'll keep her out of F. This is the number one, because I'm like, okay, I vaguely remember seeing y'all at some point. Like, obviously, I've seen you. You were like kind of interacting with the Bat family. You're part of the Runaways. I think you were with, like, the UN representing the Amazonians, maybe. You were you Lex's bodyguard, or who were you? You're the uncle. I remember you from the Marsh. I'm not sure which one you are, but you're from the Marsh when they were up on Mars. When they had some League of Assassins stuff going on. The Jews contract, I remember seeing you. I actually don't remember seeing this person at all. This is the one that I'm like, I actually do not fucking remember seeing you at all. So I gotta put her F. Guardian, I forgot his actual name, but Bees Man. Honestly, I actually remember seeing him a little bit more. Him dealing with being the boyfriend of a superhero, but not being a superhero himself. Eventually, to save people, he's at the museum, takes the suit, becomes the Guardian. I thought that's pretty cool. Seeing some of the insecurities that can come with that relationship play out through him, it was a great dynamic to see. And they're having a kid. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna put him B. So I think this is supposed to be McGann's brother, who, like, cool, he did some stuff. I don't give a fuck. Miss Martian, I think I feel like you gotta put S. Her relationship with Superboy being a backbone of, like, a lot of the episodes in the show at times. Um, the money she saved the animators from having to animate Mouse because she would mind link everybody all the time, which is just a cool power to have. Being an absolute powerhouse of the team, first girl to the team, which is good for representation. I'm gonna put her S. I don't remember her. I do not remember her at all. Come on now. Bow. Come on. Dick Grayson is probably going to be, if you really fucked up, if Dick Grayson can't be an S tier from something, from like a project you're doing. If people are ranking stuff and Dick Grayson did not end up in S, you failed as a writer. You want to tell me, hey, Aqualad didn't wind up being an S for people. Okay, that's fine. Black Lightning wasn't an S. Okay, that's fine. You fucked up Nightwing, one of the most liked characters in comics. But anyways, yeah, we get to see his journey from Robin to Nightwing. The actual change, yes, it happens during the 5-month change. There are comics, I think. Well, I know. I don't know why I said I think. I do know that. But that might explore that a little more. But you see kind of the seeds for it being planted of, like, the therapy session with him and Black Canary. I don't want to be Batman. And then we get the jump. He becomes his own man in Nightwing. Starts to lead his own covert team. He's S. Come on now. Don't remember who this is. I don't remember seeing Barbara that much. Like, I know she helped when Nightwing was having his own team and was setting it up and all that. I know she helped there when they were doing the Markovian missions. But, like, what do y'all remember? I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was, like, she's not in season 1. I think we see her a little bit as Batgirl in season 2. And then, like, season 3, she's Oracle. Or something like that. I got to put her... I'll put her D. No, I'll put her C. If I've got Static and Arsenal C, I should at least have her in C. Orphan. This is, I think I remember her being a part of a really cool fight scene, but that's kind of it. I'll put her above some of these ones just because her suit's cool, which is at least cool. Simon was a really good reoccurring villain. I'm gonna put him B. Always weird to look at, but him going up against McGann, you always knew it was going to be really good. I got to put him B. Red Tornado. Actually, I'm going to also put a Red Tornado in B, like one of the better chaperones for the team in their early years, him wanting to become a human, him getting this android body to go experience that, just, discussing what humanity is through the lens of Red Tornado. I'm going to put him B. Tim Drake, we don't get much Tim, Like, we get it a little bit in some good moments between him and Dick, but I think I feel like I have to put him, I'll put him C as well. I mean, a little bit with him and Wonder Girl, but I just underutilized. I got to put him C. Rocket's kind of in the same ship there. She joins the team at the very end of season 1, so she at least has that. She gets the New Year's Eve kiss with Calder, but I just, after the jump, it's like we don't see her again. Like, we visually see her. We know her and Zatanna join the league together. I think she was getting married, and we were seeing the bridal party, but I got to put her C. Spoiler. This is another character we don't see. Like, at all. I guess I was going to put her D, but I'm like, we genuinely don't see you much. She's just in the background for some stuff. Could it be interesting now? Like, Tim and Wonder Girl's relationship got strained a little bit when he left the team. And who's on that team that he left to? Spoiler. Like, something could happen there. Hopefully we see it. I'm going to put Sportsmaster in A. He is maybe the reoccurring villain we see the most, at least in terms of, like, actual fight and, like, what he's, like, interacting with the team directly. Artemis's dad, just a menace. This is the number one mercenary that was used in the show. He's gonna go an A. Like, I don't remember seeing you much. 13, I also don't remember. Like, Stargirl didn't see much. 13, I don't remember seeing you much. Artemis, come on now. Come on now. If I had him, you knew she was gonna be here. They're tied like this. Her story with her mom being like Huntress, her relationship with her sister, relationship with her dad, relationship with Wally, some of her dynamic with Dick, the friendship that they have is great. Seeing her go through the grief of losing Wally, her crying into McGann's arms was tough to see. What is it? Wow, I'm like missing a really big thing. I'm missing like a really big thing. Like, I had a point I wanted to articulate about her, but I'm like totally blanking on it. She's hot. Oh, I was gonna say, I would read back in the day fan fiction of these two characters. I was reading Spitfire fanfic. So yeah, okay, I was invested heavily. So yeah, she's going an S. I don't remember her. Like, I vaguely remember seeing her. Is this McGann's sister? I don't remember. Okay. Lagoon Boy. You know what? I kind of felt for him eventually when Megan broke up with him. I'll put him C. Being this out of nowhere character who's now dating Miss Martian. That was kind of interesting. I'll put him C. Again, from the Runaways. I just don't remember him. I just don't. He was the one who would like sleep and would have like the giant like astral projection form around him. So that's cool, but I can't. You know what? I'll do this. Just to make it, I think this would make it better. Of like the people that I'm just like, I genuinely don't remember you. I don't remember seeing you. I genuinely don't remember seeing you. I genuinely don't remember seeing. Well, no, I mean, I guess. Okay, these two. What the fuck? These two I genuinely don't remember seeing. You, I feel like you're McGann's sister, but you're still going in this tier. You were there, type shit, but I'll leave them there. Her again. It's like I know I remember seeing you. You were part of that center for metahumans, but like I don't remember you. You probably belong in A. Red Arrow. You find out you're a clone. You go down a bad path trying to find the original, and eventually you clean yourself up, move on with your life, accept that you have a life. Cool story, great story. Huge dynamic. The original, the mole, we all remember that. That was the mole, man. Yeah. Wonder Girl, again, it's like you kind of took a back seat. You could have been developed more. You at least had a little relationship that we know of with Tim. I'll just put her C. Calder's boyfriend, does anybody remember him? Like really? Just besides like a couple sex jokes I think they made between him and Calder. I'll put you C just for the fact that you're voiced by Josh Keaton. One of the mercenaries that we saw more than once, voiced by Josh Keaton, Spider-Man, knockoff, parody, whatever you want to call it. I'll at least put him C. Mama Goodness, what was her name? Mama Grandma. I don't give a fuck about her. I don't give a fuck about her. Yeah, but this is the team. It feels wrong having Calder out when all of these ones are up here, like the first 6. That feels better. Like, I think it's just right to have those, because those 6 were all great. I think it's just that he was a little bit more of he played the straight man more, and maybe that's why I was a little down on him. But I think if I'm being honest, like the much needed dynamic that he brings, I gotta put him S. So I'll make that change. But that's gonna do it. Here's the tier list. And if I limit, I always like to rank the S here. So it's gonna go him. It's gonna go Dick. It's going to go Superboy. It's going to go Artemis. It's going to go Miss Martian. And then it's going to go Calder. All right, that's my tier list, man. That's let me know what you think. Let me know what you agreed with most, what you disagreed with most. Comment all that down below. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe because I got a lot of more great projects coming on the way. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep gaming.